Welcome to Venture Asheville's Investomercials. Our first time doing it here at the Wedge Brewing. We got a whole bunch of folks inside. We got 5 companies. We're really excited to get started. You want to come with us? All right, let's go. Come on.
Oh my gosh, come on in. Can you believe this? This is exciting. Oh my God. I feel like Arsenio Hall. This is wonderful. Thank you all so much for being here for the first Investomercial. You ready to kick it off, meet some of our companies? All right, great.
Bonjour and welcome to the 2023 Investomercial Summer Series by Venture Asheville. This series is all about consumer products. We are broadcasting to you live from the Wedge Brewing here in Asheville, North Carolina. And even though we're at a brewery, and we're in Beer City, I can't drink beer all day. I sure not, and I'm gonna keep trying. No, sometimes when the time is right, I reach for a glass of wine, hence my fun hat. If I'm drinking a juicy ribeye, I need a Cabernet. Nice day for a picnic, rosé all day. If my mom's visiting, it's Pinot Grigio as far as the eye can see. So, while wine is ubiquitous and part of our history and part of our culture, it's actually going through a really interesting inflection point and changing the market right now. So I'm really excited to introduce to you my dear friend Chris Buehler, who is a grape guru, a vintage visionary, a vine virtuoso, to tell us more about the Vinnie Wine Steward. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you very much for allowing us to be here today. It's great to have this wonderful audience and all these terrific companies that are here with us.
We're glad to have you. So I was shocked to find out that over 20% of wine in America is bought in one of these, a box.
That's right, Jeff. Wine drinkers and upscale wineries are moving to boxed wine for a number of reasons. First of all, is its better sustainability. Would you believe it if I told you that these 4 heavy glass bottles have 8 times the carbon footprint of this one lightweight box, but the exact same amount of wine?
Wow.
That represents better value in terms of lower packaging costs and lower shipping costs. Wineries are seeing this trend and they're offering higher and higher quality wines in the box. And of course, box wine drinkers love the fact that their wine stays fresh for weeks after opening.
So it stays fresher, it's got a lower carbon footprint, it's even more economical to produce. Yeah. So what's the problem?
Jeff, where do you put the box? It either goes in the refrigerator where it's too cold for every variety of wine, or it sits on the counter where it's too warm. Simply put, boxed wine is always served at the wrong temperature.
Got it.
Until now.
Ooh, let's see why.
This is the Vinnie Wine Steward, changing the game for boxed wine drinkers. So let me show you how easy this thing is to use, Jeff.
Please.
Vinnie maintains any wine variety at its proper temperature. It elevates the wine for easier pouring. And for those of you who may already be enjoying boxed wine at home, you know that pain of squeezing the very last glass of wine out of a bag. But with Vinnie, forget about it. There's only a tablespoon of wine left.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many of those bags I've sucked dry.
That creates a bad visual that I'm trying to work out of my head, Jeff. Let me show you how easy Vinnie is to use. This unit is one of our prototypes, and our team is still working on our final product design, but I think you'll get the idea. Mm-hmm. You said you like to drink rosé all day in the summertime. Day. So with Vinnie, you simply open up the box.
Ooh, that looks good.
Slide the bag the proper way into Vinnie. You close the lid.
Look at that.
And then here's the magic. Using the menu, you set your wine to the correct type and varietal, and that's it. Vinnie will keep your wine ready to serve at the perfect temperature.
That's pretty.
That is it's impressive and it's simple, so you don't overthink it.
You just drink it.
Just drink it.
That's it. Vinnie Wine Steward. It really is that simple.
Nice. Great. So, but how big of a difference does temperature really make for the wine?
Jeff, you'd be surprised. People really do recognize the impact of temperature on the aroma, the taste, and the complexity of wine. So to prove that, we've got volunteer taste testers who've agreed to join us today.
Glad to have you.
I'd like to introduce you all to Susan, Sean, and Alexa.
Hi.
We're going to be
Yes, all volunteers. Great volunteers. Very good.
we're going to be sampling the exact same wine served at 2 different temperatures. So Jeff, I'm going to need your help here for a moment.
Sure.
That wine that we just put into Vinnie,
Yep.
that dry rosé, this is the exact same wine. However, it is at refrigerator temperature.
Okay.
What I'd like you to do is please pour.
This is how I would probably do it at home.
This is probably
It's a
how
light
you
wine. I'd
probably do
put it in the fridge.
all day,
Yep.
summertime. Yep,
in a
there you
cooler,
go.
too cold.
So
All
if you
right.
would,
So you want me
be
to
so
try
kind.
to?
yes, please be so kind as to pour a sample for our taste testers. While Jeff's doing that, let me explain. When you take a blush or a white wine straight out of the refrigerator, that temperature basically just inhibits the flavor and the aroma that the wine should have. It essentially is alcoholic water, and it's not very interesting. So for our taste testers, what we'd like you to do
Okay, this is your.
is first just take in the aroma of the wine and think about it for a moment. It probably doesn't have much of an aroma.
Anything?
Not
Not much.
Okay.
flat.
Now, please do take a sample of the wine and think about the taste in your mouth. What do you think?
Meh.
Sharp.
It's too cold.
Yeah, it really does. The cold really does make the wine lose its flavor. Now, let's take a look at the reaction when they sample wine served at the proper temperature from the Vinnie Wine Steward. Jeff, as I pour these, if you'd be so kind as to take them over to our taste testers, I'd appreciate it.
Make that pretty easy.
It does look a little bit easier, doesn't it, Jeff? Now, before you all take a taste, I'm just going to remind you that unlike the too cold wine that was served to you originally, when wine is served at its proper temperature, the true flavor, the true taste, the true complexity of the wine come out, and this should be delivered directly to you. So before you taste it, please just again, enjoy that, take into that aroma, and tell us what you think.
Oh, that's totally different.
Smell the fruity overtones on that.
Yeah.
All right, now go ahead and take a taste. Yeah. And take your time, and I want you all to think about the difference in the taste of the wine you're drinking now and the exact same wine you just tested at the wrong temperature. What do you think?
Wow, pops.
Okay.
You could charge more for this one. Same one.
You can go ahead and chop me off.
Okay. All right. That's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Nice.
Thank you, guys.
So that's a cold wine, right? We drink our rosé cold or white wines cold. But I thought red wines are supposed to be served at room temperature.
Jeff, you're absolutely right. As long as your room is an unheated cellar in a 1920s French chateau.
Maybe.
You looked the part. Oh, but that's the point with Vinnie, is it doesn't matter what your preferred wine variety is. Vinnie will serve your wine at the perfect temperature for that variety.
Awesome.
And again, not only does it keep it at the perfect temperature, you saw how easy it was to pour at that elevated level. It more completely empties the bag and, of course, saves that valuable refrigerator space.
It's fantastic. So you said this is a prototype. The obvious question is, when can I get one?
Well, you can't buy one right now. Our team is actively working with investors to secure the funding that we need to launch our crowdfunding campaign, and thereafter, Vinnie will be available on Amazon. We would like to offer everybody here, though, a special gift. If you'll leave us your name and your email, we'd like to extend to you our lowest crowdfunding price when our crowdfunding campaign starts. So please see me after the event today, and thank you all for our taste testers, and thank you.
Pretty nice offer. All right. And if you're watching this and you want to pre-order or reserve yours, you can contact Chris again through our show notes on the event post. And I'm sure some of you have some questions for Chris right away. Yep, great.
Thank you. I happen to like my wine at a cooler temperature. Is that something that the Vinnie can do for me?
Absolutely, and thank you for asking. So you noticed I breezed through that selection. When you select a wine variety with Vinnie, it's going to put that temperature right in the middle of the preferred range for that wine variety. But then after you've selected your varietal, you have the opportunity to adjust the temperature up or down to suit your personal tastes.
Another question?
Great presentation. So I have seen some boxes of margaritas when I've gone to South Carolina. How would that work with Vinnie?
Well, thank you for asking. And in fact, Vinnie does have a setting for ready-to-drink cocktails. So those are tremendously popular right now. Vinnie will set your temperature for your ready-to-drink cocktail. And again, you can adjust the temperature to your personal taste, as I described with the prior question on wine. We're also watching this emerging market of cold brew coffees in boxes. So as that market matures, we're considering an option for Vinnie specifically for cold brew coffees.
Yeah, I actually have a small restaurant, and we go through tons of wine. Mostly house wine gets thrown away. We've been thinking about switching to box wine, but we would want something that's commercial. Do you have an option in mind or available?
You would be surprised how frequently we hear this question from restaurant and bar owners, and the answer is yes. We are planning on having a commercial version specifically for restaurants and bars to serve their house wines from bag-and-box wines.
One more time for Chris and the Vinnie.
Thank you.
That was awesome. Really great.